really interesting. We have a preacher. His name is Pastor Lucas Miles. The good reverend was actually on the program not too long ago. So this pastor is claiming that critical race theory, CRT, is anti-God. It is anti-Christianity. Here's his comment.
God became man and he intersected the suffering of mankind. He took on the true oppressive entity in this world, which was sin and death. He paid the price for us in order to redeem us, and he freed us from the curse. So for CRT to be biblical, it has to acknowledge that Jesus freed us from the curse, which it doesn't take that into account. It says that the curse is still here, it still exists, that all this oppression is still in operation, ignoring the fact that Jesus actually defeated that and lifted us out of that oppressive state that we were in because of sin and death. And so again, this is extra biblical at best, but it's really rooted in some anti-God ideology that we can trace all the way back to Karl Marx. And
no, sir, you are anti-God in sentiment. I would love to have you back, preacher, and debate your theological premise. But I want to remind you that God is actually for critical race theory. God is for ensuring that the oppressed have a fair shot. As a matter of fact, I challenge you to read the Old Testament of your scripture and answer the why. Why is it that according to text, God chose the children or the Hebrews? Why did he choose the Hebrews? According to the text, it says because they were the most oppressed in the land. They were chosen because they were the most oppressed in the land. Number one. Number two, if you believe, as you say, preacher, that Jesus freed us from the curse and critical race theory or racism is a curse, let me ask you this. That text actually says Jesus freed us from sin. Does sin still exist? Does murder still exist? Does robbery still exist? Does lying still exist? Okay. Preacher, once again, I invite you back on the show. Now remember, this is the same preacher, ladies and gentlemen, who had a difficult time answering a simple question. He wanted to debate if Jesus was a Republican or Democrat. It was his debate choice. I allowed him to come on the show. And so I wanted to set the parameter of what Jesus, which one are we talking about? Here it is. Let me first ask you this question before we go any deeper. Which Jesus are we talking about? Are we talking about white Jesus or black Jesus?
I'm glad you brought that up because there's actually multiple versions of Jesus, and I think it's really important to define that. I'm talking about the biblical Christ, the Christ from the first century, the Christ that was born in Bethlehem, the Christ that Scripture speaks of.
Okay, so what was he, a man of color or was he a white European?
He certainly wasn't a white European. He was a man of the Middle East, and he was
a man of what now? A man of color, preacher, right? Right, Pastor. He was a man of color. He was a man of color, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, there we go. Yeah, that was tough for him. Okay. This same individual is now claiming that a doctrine of examination known as critical race theory is somehow opposite of God, antithetical to the value system proclaimed by Christianity. And I will say this, it is antithetical to God if your God is white supremacy. Yes, critical race theory is anti-God if your God is white supremacy. I said it for the record. Sharon, what are your thoughts here?
I thought you got them all the way together the last time, Dr. Richey. I mean, can you have him back and debate something like, did Homer Simpson want salt or sugar on the rim of his margarita? I mean, this guy is just all over the place to the point where, what do you say? I would probably pay money to eavesdrop in a coffee shop and have he and Herschel Walker debate each other. To me, that would be rich. That would be fun. He's just not credible, and even the smirk on his face, even he knows that.
Yeah, well, he does have another invite here, Sharon, to defend his point of view that somehow critical race theory is anti-God.